Here are the test scores for the guy you filled out the form for. He scored a B minus. This guy is a risky bet. Welcome to the Strong Brew, where you get answers to questions you're not supposed to ask. These are some things you may want to know about the man in your life. If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure? Will he try and use money to control you? Will he share housework or just make you do it all? In fights, when he gets angry, does he get aggressive? During intimacy, does he understand that no means no? Is he jealous, suspicious, or possessive? Will his attitude towards you change after having kids? Will he treat your parents with respect? What if you have conflicts with his parents? We tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. These are things nobody else will tell you. Things that are important for your future. This is a safe space for truth. No judgment, no platitudes, no login, no payment either. Our questions are from real life, but our answers come from science. Now, I built this thing, me and my husband, and honestly, we built it and we live it. We are both Stanford grads, we both have worked at Google, and we've been happily together since 1998. Along the way, we've added a son, now 13, and 4 dogs. We are genuine folks. If you're a woman trying to understand any man in your life, here is how it works. Go to www.thestrongbrew.life. Click on the Understand a Guy button there. Answer 10 questions about him. Watch a video tailored to your guy. That's all there is to it. It is completely anonymous, no login, no payment, no games, no manipulation. This analysis is obtained by combining solid trait psychology with cutting edge AI ML. We represent each person's personality with what is known as a feature vector. This has 10 elements, so our data is effectively 10-dimensional data. In case you're wondering how we can infer so much from just 10 questions, well, 10-dimensional data is very complex. There is a lot you can learn from that level of detail.
Okay, I think that does it for the preamble. Now let's plunge in. Let's start with this guy in his career. Will he go far or just talk big?
He's unlikely to go far in his career, even if he talks big sometimes. He prefers to keep things easy and avoids pushing himself or taking on extra work. You may notice him changing jobs often or sticking to simple roles without much responsibility.
Can he bounce back from failure?
When things go wrong at work, he usually tries to stay calm and polite on the outside, not causing any drama. But instead of dealing with the problem, he often pulls back and avoids facing it directly. Many times, he just quietly steps back or ignores the problem, hoping it goes away on its own.
What do people at work think of him? Do they like him?
People at work generally find him easy to get along with because he's always polite and avoids arguments. He rarely, if ever, picks fights or gets pulled into office drama. He tends to stay in the background, not making strong connections or standing out as a leader.
If you do really well in your career, will he become insecure?
If you do really well in your career, he probably won't feel jealous or threatened. He's not someone who measures himself by career success, so your achievements won't shake his confidence. In fact, he'll be happy for you in his own cheerful way, even if he doesn't show deep excitement.
What if you start earning more than him?
No, he's unlikely to resent you or feel insecure if you earn more than him. Money and status aren't things he worries about, so your higher income won't bother him deep down. He won't start strange arguments or silently hold grudges about paychecks.
Next, let's talk about how he is with money. Does he overspend? Is he reckless with money?
He is not someone who is careful with money or very organized about it. He may spend without thinking and is likely to ignore budgets or future plans. He isn't wasteful in a big dramatic way, but he doesn't plan ahead either.
Does he show off and pretend to be richer than he is?
He usually lives within his means and doesn't pretend to be richer than he is. He's not one to show off or put on a big display about money or status. He might spend carelessly at times, but it's out of habit or distraction, not to impress others.
Is he too generous, too stingy, or just right?
He is friendly and won't mind spending on small treats or joining in for a good time, but he's not deeply generous or thoughtful with his giving. He likes to be part of happy moments, So he's open to sharing in those small ways. He's not stingy, but his kindness tends to be light and easy, not something you can count on when life gets tough or when real generosity is needed.
Will he use money to try and control you?
He is generally open about money and not the secretive or controlling type. If you ask him about finances, he'll likely tell you what you want to know, sometimes with a carefree attitude. He doesn't try to hide things or use money as a way to hold power in the relationship.
Let's see how this guy is with sharing housework. Will he share housework or just make you do it?
He's likely to believe that housework should be shared, or at least he won't firmly insist it's only your responsibility. He doesn't have strong opinions or the drive to argue about chores, and he prefers to keep things peaceful at home. He isn't lazy on purpose, he just drifts and may not notice what needs doing.
Will he help you or just boss you around and tell you what to do?
He will probably help with chores and diapers if you ask, but he's not the type to notice what needs to be done on his own. You might find yourself having to give him a gentle nudge or clear instructions when things need doing around the house. He won't try to boss you around or just stand by and supervise, but he also won't jump in on his own initiative.
Now let's see about how this guy is during fights. In fights, does he try to understand your views or just win the fight?
He doesn't like to argue just to prove a point, and he isn't the type to stubbornly insist he's always right. Instead, he usually listens and avoids any big fights. Even if he doesn't fully get your feelings, you'll find more quiet cooperation than heated disagreements with him.
Does he become aggressive when angry?
When he's angry, he tends to stay respectful and avoid saying hurtful things or acting aggressive. He doesn't like fighting or drama, so instead of raising his voice or being rude, he might just become quiet or distant for a while. Overall, you can expect him to be gentle and polite even on his worst days.
Does he have a bad temper?
No, he's not the kind of man who gets angry quickly. It takes a lot to really upset him, and even then, he usually stays calm rather than snapping or causing a scene. You won't find him shouting, blaming, or losing his temper over small things.
Will he say sorry and accept his mistakes?
He can say sorry and take responsibility, though it might be in a quiet or simple way. He isn't the type to start blaming you or making excuses when something goes wrong. You can expect honesty and a peaceful attitude, even if he isn't deeply reflective.
Next, let's talk about intimacy and physical chemistry. During intimacy, does he respect your boundaries? Does he get that no means no?
Yes, he is likely to respect your boundaries and understands that no means no. He isn't pushy or forceful in his approach and avoids making anyone uncomfortable. If you set a clear limit or say you aren't comfortable with something, he will usually step back politely without making a fuss or arguing. He prefers harmony and dislikes conflict, so he won't try to pressure you or cross your lines.
If you are not in the mood for intimacy, will he react badly?
No, he isn't the kind of man who takes it personally if you're not in the mood for intimacy. He won't get upset, argue, or try to make you feel bad about it. Instead, he'll accept your answer quietly and likely just move on without making a big issue out of it.
Can you trust him not to shame you or share your private moments, maybe love letters, photos, or videos, even after a breakup or a bad fight?
Yes, you can trust him to handle private moments with care. He is not the type to use your secrets or private experiences against you, either in anger or as a joke. He prefers to keep things peaceful and would rather avoid causing embarrassment or hurt.
Is he loyal or is he likely to want to have affairs?
He is not someone who actively chases after other women or gets easily distracted. Most of the time, he's content with the comfort and routine of his current relationship, and he doesn't have a strong urge to seek excitement elsewhere. He's more likely to stay where things are simple and peaceful rather than go looking for trouble.
Will he be jealous, suspicious, and try to control you?
No, he is not over possessive. He doesn't act jealous, controlling, or suspicious in your relationship. He is laid back and trusts you unless given a real reason not to.
This guy says he is protective in a good way. Is he actually just being possessive?
No, with him, a protective nature is not a sign of a controlling personality. He doesn't step in to control where you go, who you meet, or what you do. You're unlikely to feel watched or restricted by him.
Now, onto the topic of kids and how this guy will be as a father. If you guys have kids, will he make you do most of the work?
He'll go along with the idea of parenting being a team effort if you guide him, but on his own, he may not notice what needs doing or step up without reminders. He isn't stubborn about helping, but parenting tasks often slip by him, and he's comfortable letting you take the lead. He doesn't insist that it's only your job, but you'll find he rarely takes initiative to share the work unless you organize things together.
Kids are very messy. Will he lose his temper with them?
When the kids mess up or get upset, he will usually stay calm and not lose his temper. He doesn't get easily frustrated or angry, so you won't see him shouting or punishing harshly. Overall, you can expect a gentle and patient reaction from him, not emotional outbursts or harsh discipline.
If you guys have kids, will he still support your career?
Yes, he will support your role as both a mother and your own person, mostly because he isn't controlling or demanding about how you spend your time. He will not expect you to give up your interests or independence for the sake of the family. You'll have the freedom to be both mom and your own person with him.
Will this man say one thing early on, maybe while dating, and then later after kids and marriage change his tune and try to make you give up your career?
No, he's not the type who will suddenly change his mind and ask you to quit your job after you have a child. He doesn't have strong or hidden expectations about your career, and he's unlikely to push you into big changes for his sake. His support might not be enthusiastic, but it will be steady and free from hidden demands.
Next, let's see how this guy treats your parents. Will he be respectful with your parents?
He will most likely act polite on the surface with your parents, but real warmth may not always come through. He is respectful and friendly, making sure to avoid conflict or awkwardness, and your parents will find him easy to get along with at family gatherings. However, deep emotional involvement or strong bonds might not develop unless you take the lead in building that connection. He will try to adjust to your family rather than expect them to change for him.
What if your family creates stress or interferes a bit in your lives?
If your family creates stress or interferes, he will handle it calmly rather than make things worse. He doesn't like drama or confrontation and will do his best to keep the peace either by staying silent or quietly stepping back from the situation. He won't add fuel to the fire with harsh words or defensive behavior.
Then let's analyze the role this guy's family will play in your life. Is this man modern with you but a completely different person when other people, say his parents or bosses, are around?
He is not likely to demand that you suddenly become a traditional supportive wife in front of his relatives. Most of the time, he wants peace and avoids making strong rules, so he won't pressure you to act or dress a certain way just to please others. You'll have freedom with him, but you may sometimes feel alone in handling family expectations. He'll quietly go along instead of setting boundaries for you.
If there is tension between you and his parents, will he support you?
If there's tension, he will most likely stay out of it rather than openly support you or take sides. He doesn't like conflict and avoids getting caught in the middle, so he's unlikely to speak up against his family or step in on your behalf unless you clearly ask for his help. He won't purposely side with them to hurt you, but he might quietly blend in or keep silent so the situation doesn't get worse.
Say you have a conflict with his mother, what will this guy do?
He isn't strongly a mummy's boy, but he also isn't bold about taking your side in conflicts with his mother. Most of the time, he avoids getting involved and prefers not to pick sides at all. He values peace and smoothness, so open loyalty in a family conflict may be something you have to gently encourage from him.
Will he share all the private details of your relationship with his mother or sister?
No, he is unlikely to share every detail of your fights or private life with his mother or sister. He tends to keep personal matters to himself and doesn't usually run to others with complaints or secrets from home. His quiet and private nature means he avoids making problems bigger by involving his family.
Now let's zoom out and put it all together.
Based on all we know about him, this guy is a B minus. This guy is a risky bet from a relationship perspective. Being in a relationship with this man feels steady and peaceful, but sometimes a little lonely if you need deep connection or strong support. He isn't difficult or demanding, and life with him is free from major arguments or harsh words.